Hi everybody, Phil Liggett, and this, the 93rd Liège-Bastogne-Liège, 262 kilometres. The riders signing in here at the start in Liège. Paolo Bettini, the world #1, just look at the fuss being made of him here. And this is the man who a few days ago cleaned up in Flèche Wallonne. Davide Rebellin, pressure's on him now. He can't complete the triple like he did a couple of years ago, but he has had a second and a win of the two races, Amstel Gold and the Flèche. Alejandro, another man who is looking for good form, as is Damiano Cunego. He'll be looking forward, of course, for the upcoming Giro d'Italia. Nice wave, Damiano. Thank you very much. The killer, Danilo Di Luca, third in the Flèche Wallonne. I hope he was smiling, well, sort of. As he prepares, Frank Schleck. Oh no, it's not, it's Jens Voigt from Team CSC, one of the most popular riders on the circuit. And this is the man signing in for the last time in the Ardennes, because this is Michael Boogerd, the champion of the Netherlands on his final year. This is Frank Schleck, and on the right is the American rider, Bobby Jurek. The quiet man. Philippe Gilbert, again, lives in this region. Tried a little escape in the Flèche, didn't work. Maybe he'll try again today. I'm sure he will. He's a balloon. And this is Axel Merck, another balloon here, son of Eddie, and also, as Daniel Manjas has just said, coming up for the last time to sign in for this event. And the man on the microphone there, by the way, talked 2002 as well. Rollout time here in Liège, 262 kilometres is on the menu today. This, I think, well, it's for many people the best classic of them all. One thing's for sure, it's the oldest classic of them all. And starting way back in the...
Meer dan 16 minuten als we dat dan in afstand uitdrukken. Dus meer dan 10 kilometer voorsprong voor deze 4 jongens die al heel vroeg ontsnapt zijn. Een ontsnapping die tot stand kwam na een paar kilometer. Eerst Kirjenka die ging. En dan kwamen de 3 anderen langzaam maar zeker aansluiten.
Oh, mannen! Lekker, hé!
Rebellin ziet. Hier. Verre. Di Luca hier. Alessandro. Hey, klaar. Hey Jan, kom maar. Venezuela. Schleck van Summer. Mers, hier Mers. Valverde hier.
Tot het einde. Er zijn andere ploegen die gewoon grotere favorieten hebben. Dus we moeten afwachten hoe het in de koers loopt. Er kan ook een groep wegrijden bij Stokkeu in de buurt. Wat een gevaarlijke groep gaat zijn. Dus we moeten gewoon erg op letten. Niemand van ons bij. Ja, dat vind ik niet kunnen als je Rabobankploeg bent. Dat mag niet.
Stel, je komt met een groepje voorop op de slotklim. Met wie durf je naar de streep gaan?
Nou, dat zijn er heel weinig.
Plak er toch eens een paar namen op.
Ja, nou, meestal die mannen waar ik mee naar de streep ga rijden, die kan ik niet hebben in de sprint ook, denk ik. Dus dat zijn, ik kan er wel een paar noemen, maar ik denk niet meer dat die er bij Saint-Nicolas bij zijn. Dus, nee joh, ik weet het niet. Maar ik heb hier ook zelf wel eens in 2003, toen was ik zo goed. Ik reed weg op Saint-Nicolas. Ik denk, ga je winnen. En de laatste kilometer stond ik helemaal geparkeerd en toen werd ik derde. En kon ik ze gewoon niet meer volgen. Dus je kan hier ineens kaarsje uit zijn. Dat heb ik hier al vaak meegemaakt.
Heel veel succes in je laatste luik.
Dankjewel.
Een prettig interview. En wat stellen we vast? De mannen die gewerkt hebben in het peloton, die gaan nu net bij de eerste kilometers van de Wanne al over.
Same roads. Race out through Stavelo and down towards Bastogne where we turn. There's an American tank parked in Bastogne, reminiscent of the way the Belgian people of the Rhône region appreciate what the Americans did in the World War here. And the tank still stands as they make their way then. Echevarria. It's good to see the Spanish cyclist, a Basque cyclist indeed, in the breakaway today. And this is the first time we've ever seen a close-up of Kirienka from Belarus. Oh, Remy Di Gregorio. Some of the countries, two countries notably, by the way, have never won this. I confess, Great Britain. But we've been close. Barry Hogan was third in 1969 and Robert Miller was there in 1988. A great climber from Scotland. And in Australia, Phil Anderson has come close. He got second in 1984, but we're still waiting for better results. And I can say with some confidence they won't be improving on those places today. Bodies keeping in the position, hard to dislodge him. Flag of the Wallon people waving proudly in the sky as the peloton packs the wall-to-wall here on this beautiful climb. Fast tempo riding, nobody willing to lift the pace. It's too early for them to make any decisive moves. Perhaps Laradoute will do something as the stars will try to break it up there for sure. Boogerd still sitting in there. And we're on to the bottom of the col. A little cheer for the boogeyman, Michael Boogerd, for the last time. Echevarria flexing his climbing legs. This is Remy Di Gregorio. 21 years of age, long career ahead of him. Just think, Remy, you can be climbing this hill in another 10 years' time. Or even more. Probably not the time to tell him that, really. Echevarria just doing what he has to do now. All feeling a little bit of fatigue, I think. And why not? 198 kilometres they've been up front. Cheers there. Nothing, he's on the front. Just a moment, I thought he was off the back. They know that the gap is coming down, but it's coming down regularly, but quite slowly just now. 7 1/4. Of course, a Spanish team, but if you speak to Euskaltel, they'll always tell you it is a Basque team because all of the riders come from that region. Except one, and I think it's Sanchez, who isn't actually a Basque rider. Concentration of a man, he built like a track rider, and I mean he does ride well on the track, Kirchen. This year he got off to a great start on the road. He got second overall in the Étoile de Bessèges, which is the opening stage race of the year in France in February. Took that form to the Tirreno Adriatico, runs at the same time more or less as Paolo for Di Gregorio, so somebody spotted him. They're going to let the hills do the talking, I think, towards the end, the way they're looking today. Not in any mood to push on at all. The lead right now, as it's a long, thin line here for Danilo. Has this very crouched position with his turned up handlebars. Looks most uncomfortable, but it seems to be extremely effective for him. Wow, and that was a rather tight in the brakes because that was Michael Barry there, the Canadian rider, T-Mobile, seemed to lock up his gears. And they shot straight out the back. There's Kikes. Yeah, we won't mention the icing on the Kikes, but he's back in the bunch. Lambau Credit is his team, which is a Dutch team, and here are the three leaders still enjoying this very unusual warm sunshine at this time of the year. Kirchen of Tinkoff, looking good. Remy Di Gregorio also looking good. They're still looking good, really. They can only hope they survive. They know if the chase is organised, they haven't got a hope. But if they can hold it together and not panic, there's always a chance. Echeverria is off to a good start this year because
Hey, come on!
Top of the Côte de la Vecquée, and Echeverria, the climber, over the top. That puts them through now at 210 kilometres. And it's exactly right. Add that on to 51.9, you get 262, more or less. So now we just make our way down towards Rimouchon, where my mates went into the bedroom for 3 hours and got out and finished the ride. And then we make a left there, then a right, and we fly up the La Redoute. And also finding the pace just a little bit hard here is Chris Brandt, who's also a good climber. Got himself involved in a doping scandal a couple of years ago, vehemently denied it, got away with it, but I have to say, hasn't really ridden that well ever since. And it looks as though he's just hoping the top of the climb comes a little bit sooner than it might, and that way he'll get back on. Well, the peloton is getting smaller by the minute. Cedric Vasseur is the rider doing some work here as well. But now the order's gone out, probably by Damiano Cunego, to try and get up to that breakaway, at least make it manageable for the hills which lie ahead. This rider here is poor old Bobby Julik. Now where is he? It looks like Bobby. Surprised about that, because Grant has come back up to him, but Bobby Julik also deciding that the climber La Vecquée is one climb too many. There's 4 noted climbs still to come, plus the climb to the finish. And Bobby Julik saying enough is enough. So the winner of the Paris-Nice race in brilliant style a couple of years ago is now living to fight another day, no doubt waiting for the stage races. Had a successful visit to California, the Amgen Tour of California, where something just under 2 million spectators watched that race. Arnold Schwarzenegger dubbed it the most watched sporting event in the state of California this year. And Bobby finished 4th in that event, won by Levi Leipheimer. Well, Lamprey have got the interest here as they continue to set the pace. David Lucy on the front, I think. Case Dapon of Alejandro Valverde bunching up on the far left.
Voilà. Di Luca hier is. Di Luca, ja.
The peloton are still making steady progress here, but it's all building up to a huge explosion. They can't just keep this up. It's all been a little bit too orderly so far today, Liège-Bastogne-Liège. A handful of teams who fancy they've got the winners on the team, sending their men just to show.
Ja, tuurlijk. Rivko. Christophe. Hey, Christophe.
Spanish riders, they've got Italian riders, Colombian riders and Belgian riders in this team in the race today. And this Leonardo Duque from Colombia is a very good sprinter. They would tend to be jumping around, screaming, shouting and waving flags, blowing whistles, but here we are in the French-speaking Walloon area where they politely applaud as the riders go by. Just trying to see where all the riders are down there. I don't see the World Championship bands at the moment of Paolo Bettini, two-time winner. This is where Bettini really broke into the big time when he, well, there he is, just off. So he's not too far away. The first thing he did when he won this race for the first time was telephone his best friend, Bartoli, and tell him he just won Liège-Bastogne-Liège, because at that time Bartoli, who couldn't ride that year, was the top man in this event.
Faire un 366.
Ja. Hey, kom aan. Yes.
Three leaders still going as well as they can do, but the gap is now a very manageable 4 minutes. And at 47 kilometres to go, it's never going to make it. But just how long can they hold off the field in the... down the coastline to San Remo. Oh, I heard somebody shout "attention," and that was the reason. This is not going to go much further because that chase is having quite an effect now. I'm not so sure they'll even make that a doot. Them closing down the M1 in Great Britain, which is the main highway. Meanwhile, nearly at the top. Hardest part of the ride, this. And still it is Remy Di Gregorio who's setting the pace at the front. Neutral service, Mavic on the right here. The Belgian flag flies in the peloton. I'm not sure if he's I think yes he has. He's passed Van der Velde and gone on alone. There's Van der Velde going back into the pack. They're just riding tempo. They've got Français Jeux on the front, trying to keep it that way. Not surprisingly, because they've got a man up front. This is Beredo. Just keeping the gear. He's nearly at the top here. And pulled away from the field. And look at that. It can't be much more tightly packed. Somebody else is just trying to break away at the front. This is Jens Voigt. I think he's going off the wrong end of the group just now. Jens under a little bit of pressure there. And Beredo has got himself out on the pedals. As a member of the Liberty Seguros team, which collapsed after the doping problems it had. It's a great shame. They're a good sponsor. When will the riders ever learn? One must ask the question. And Beredo has found his second win. He's kicked again and he's gone clear, but unfortunately he went straight past Christian van der Velde. It's a pity he hadn't gone up to him a little bit later on the climb. This is the top now. Just a little bit of a false flat for the moment. Michael Boogerd looking for some help. Right at the back here for Boyd Telecom and Laurent Lefebvre has not turned the final screws. It's Bettini who's gone up to the leader, I think, and 2 by 2. They see the thing is, they see the banner, they come over the top, they ease off, but that's not the top of the climb. It drags before they make a right turn, and if you keep the pressure on, you might slip away. Carlos Beredo won the 3rd stage of the Tour Down Under, which was his big comeback last year, not this time around, when he was riding for Liberty Seguros. He tends to find his form pretty early on. Winner of the Grand Prix Pineau, also in Belgium, around the time of Paris-Roubaix. Somebody's nipped through on the outside from Liège-Bastogne-Liège. Any takers got a good rhythm here, so it's the young Frenchman who is the stronger of the two. Just over a mile long. Might get to know the answer this time then. Well, that looks like Gerolstein and Stefan Schumacher there, and just underneath us is Vincenzo Nibali from Liège-Bastogne-Liège. And they must have just got off the front of the peloton. Now this is an interesting tentative. Is Schumacher looking for a second big win of the year, or indeed is he trying to soften the race up for Rebellin? But whatever you say, they're 57 seconds behind the leaders here. Not too sure now where Beredo is, but I think just ahead still. We haven't seen them be caught by the cameras. And Nibali, another young man of the future here for Liège-Bastogne-Liège. Late chase to catch up there with Schumacher. I'm pretty sure it's Schumacher. It is Schumacher, 145. The man who came to our notice in the Amstel Gold Race, a brilliant win there, and with that sort of confidence now, you believe you can win anything. And there's Carlos Beredo, they're going to catch him. Now we're getting an interesting race pattern, because these weren't the riders we expected. Of course, we expected Rebellin to be looking, and perhaps Di Luca. So they've sent out two top players on the team here to really try and draw the sting of the likes of Boogerd, Valverde, Bettini perhaps, Cunego. Interesting one. Carsten Kroon is expected to have a good classic season. He hasn't set the world on fire yet, but he is a man that Rabobank are rumoured to want on their team next year. There he is. Carsten Kroon, 31 years of age. Now this is the start of the climb here, and already somebody has launched an attack and has caught everybody off guard as if it wasn't to be, because this is the climb of the start team on, and this is a nasty climb and the obvious place to go, and Cedric Vasseur has gone straight away, and the race commissaire almost having a heart attack there because nobody's doing what he's telling them to do. It's quick. This is Beredo and Nibali. We've still got the other two up front, Schumacher and Vasseur. Very fast climb this, but it is hard, largely because they try to average about 20 miles an hour up it. There's the two leaders on the right, two chasers on the left. Quick step marshalling both attacks. It was Vasseur who launched the attack, but it shows you that Schumacher is feeling good again. Well, shaken off the allergies today. It tended to affect him in flesh go along, so he says. A little bit of picture interruption there, that's due to the trees. Beredo, and we pan around. Oh, let's have a look. This is the remnants of the climb. Carsten Kroon there. Nibali. Kroon. The peloton must be around that corner just off our camera if our picture is correct. Otherwise, they're timing 16 seconds to this group here, being led by Beredo. Kroon coming through on the inside. I think Beredo thought he was going to launch an attack there. That's why he got out the saddle. There is Schumacher. And Chris Horner looked as though he was getting himself a little bit of company. 15 kilometres to go. Schumacher noses closer to Liège. Unfortunately, the race doesn't finish in Liège. Over the river and up the hills into Anse. Power on the last two climbs now. One official and one to the finishing line. 13 kilometres to go. They obviously are marking Bettini, are after him straight away, not least Damiano Cunego. This is the carriageway now, where they can keep an eye on all of the moves for a moment. We're sure to be racing past Standard Liège football ground. Inside 13 kilometres to go. Big effort now by Schumacher required here. For the second time in a week. He's got the whole classic field behind him. Fine piece of time trialling here. Well, the rest weren't strong enough to hold him. He had to go. He are leading the charge. It's still a little bit unclear who for, but it's got to be for one of the Schlecks, Andy or Fränk. This is the start of the climb. 6.5 kilometres to go. 11 seconds the gap. 111, 11.1%. 11's the figure. Short and sharp. There's the Italian flags. A little Italy as we race through here now towards the final climb. A kilometre to the top. And a big move coming now, not surprisingly from Leaky Gas, but it's also not coming here from Danilo Di Luca. It's another way of telling you I'm not sure who it is coming from, but we'll find out pretty soon here. Leaky Gas haven't got too many strong riders left, but I would go for somebody like Specialetti. Just can't quite see his face clearly enough here, but I think it might be Alessandro Specialetti making a move, and that looks like Di Luca is on second wheel at the front of the peloton. Yep, it's Specialetti as he comes up the climb. Di Luca sitting there watching everybody else, and watch out, Davide Rebellin is there in the white jersey. So often this is the climb as the heads put in their effort, and Damiano Cunego picks up the running. Now the race is on for who gets first to the top. It still is not an attack. This is a pace, but only the best men will master it. Cunego. Rebellin sits their third wheel. Valverde. Carlos Barrido somehow is sitting in there. Oh no, he's not. We're at the back in the Moto 3 now. This is the carnage at the back, as it's goodbye from the pacemakers of the day, including sadly Stefan Schumacher, swept up there with that surge on the climb. Bettini still there just off the back wheel of Alejandro Valverde. Michael Boogerd, move coming on the right. The long way round, sometimes the best. It's an AG2R rider who's launching an attack here. John Gadere it is. Had a good result in Flèche-Wallonne. And now being countered immediately by Damiano Cunego. Our motorbike in the way a little bit, but getting out as fast. Classics, occasionally the winner, often second, third or fourth, and Bettini comes through. Power effort by Paolo Bettini. This is how he's won so many of his bike races. This isn't a pacemaking, this is an attack. Valverde knows it, jumps him straight away. Rebellin tries to cross the gap, looks as though he will. Long effort, huge effort by Bettini. He hasn't quite got those legs of yesteryear yet. Valverde's got him. Tied him up and put him back in his place. Boogerd launches the attack. Again, the counter-attack is coming. Looks like his Discovery Channel put a rider into the thick of the action now. The camera's all over the place and I can't quite nail that down, but it's certainly Valverde who is just in fourth wheel. And Discovery Channel have launched an attack here, and this looks like it is a move that they want. Trying to see if I can see that picture clearly to see which rider it is. It doesn't really matter now because it's all over. I think it's Popovic, but I'm not certain. Looks like it might be. Valverde is where he doesn't want to be, and this looks like it is Schleck now trying to go clear. Oops, up on the inside, it looks like it might be Andy Schleck who's tried to jump away here. The killer straight onto him, the little figure there of Danilo Di Luca. And that is a good move here. It's Fränk Schleck who's gone clear, the elder of the two, and Di Luca's reached him. Now these are two workhorses of the bike race. They could well hold off here. Yes, it is Fränk Schleck, one of two Luxembourgers. The other one's his brother Andy, but Fränk is currently the better of the two, but they say that one day Andy will be even better than elder brother. And Di Luca rather is making hard work to try and get on here, because Frank Schleck isn't waiting for anybody. And again another move coming, but not from Boogerd trying to reach them. That looks like Dekker down there. Left in absolute no man's land. Can't reach the leaders. The peloton are just behind him. Thomas Dekker in between. Di Luca reaches them. We're over the top. We still have the horrible little climb up to the finishing line. Di Luca is in a brilliant position now, and he knows it. He's not helping at all, Schleck here. He's waiting. He's gambling here. Just checking on how close they are behind him. Them. Well, they're committed now. If they go back, they've lost the race. They've got to go to the line now. It's all too close to the finish at 2.7 kilometres. It's make it or break it right now for Danilo Di Luca. And Dekker knows it as well. He's got to reach them. Scars of the day there, looks like, on the arm of Schleck. Schleck can't afford to wait too long. He's going to have to work here with Danilo Di Luca. 8 seconds is nothing at all. Valverde and Rodriguez are the two riders down there for Kessler. Cunego is still there. And if they don't work, they've lost Liège-Bastogne-Liège. Schleck has gone through. Danilo Di Luca, final drink. Dominated last week with a second place in Flèche Wallonne. Still looking for a win now. Well, Schleck looks over his shoulder. Can he lift it again? He looked the wrong way though.
Matthias.
Looks over his shoulder now. It's been a race of wait and see, and again the peloton is waiting and seeing. You can't do that at 1.6 kilometres out. Di Luca doesn't want this position, but he's got no choice. They've got to work together. They can't afford to finesse. I think Dekker's been swept up. I can't see him at all now. He just made that move a little bit too late. He should have jumped onto the wheel of these two when they went. Easy to say, harder to do. They're going nowhere ahead of this field, still locked at 10 seconds. They're just over a mile from the finish now, albeit a mile. And I apologise to Thomas, because there he is, still hanging in there. And that must be the 10-second gap, so it is a bit further back to the peloton, and that might be enough to make the difference. Luca, there is Thomas Dekker. Those legs are rather crying out for a rest. He sat back in the saddle, looked over his shoulder, and probably said, it's not going to happen. There's the kilometre now, and it's all climb. They don't call this a climb, you see. It's not one of the climbs. It would be the 13th climb of the day, unlucky for some. But it's always a climb which will break up any sprint. Di Luca is on fire, and I don't think Schleck is going to have much of a chance against him, in all honesty. Di Luca tries to the limit. He always looks as though he's under pressure, but he still can add another notch to his gun if he tries, and he does. Frank Schleck looks very like his brother Andy. And still T-Mobile working at the front for Kim Kirchen, who's just below us there in the picture. I think that's Kim. No, that's actually the Rabobank rider. That's Michael Boogerd. doesn't look like a group at all. This is, I think, must be slipping away from the bunch here. Not the group we want to see. There's the group we want to see. Jérôme, Pineau. Down there as well. And, just look at the face here. That's why he gets his nickname, the Killer. He knows how to suffer, but he still can deliver the final blow. And that is a move down there. And I think it is Francisco Perez. Well, I didn't know he was still up in this group, I must be honest. Oh, it's Valverde. And look how they're coming and closing in here. Rapidly, Schleck has cracked here. This is the sprint, it's already begun. And Di Luca is going to win, but Schleck isn't going to get second because Valverde's come over the top of him. Last year's winner, and as smooth as you like, a huge effort required from Valverde. The pain on the face of Michael Boogerd, who might make fourth, but Danilo Di Luca gets the big win of the Spring Classics. He promised it on Wednesday, he delivers on Sunday, and Danilo Di Luca takes it. Valverde just about 3 or 4 seconds too late. Schleck did well to hold third there. Bettini, the world champion, fourth. Rebellin, the winner on Wednesday, comes over. I make him fifth. Boogerd was in there, and Cunego was in there as well. What a terrific show of defiance. Schleck made the move. Di Luca finished it off. How sad is that? Because really CSC seemed to crack up a little bit today. They lost a number of riders, but they tried to make amends with a strong ride by Fränk Schleck. They'll all be coming in dribs and drabs, those that reach the finishing line, but there is a very happy man today. Danilo Di Luca. I reckon he just made himself the top favourite for the Tour of Italy, which will be his next big target here. But now he's got a huge classic result with the La Doyenne, the Liège-Bastogne-Liège, the oldest of them all.